Yeah, I think maybe we could do that. Hey everyone, I'm Priya. I'm a technical fellow at Walmart. I've about 18 years of experience and I've held different roles in my career. I've been an individual contributor for most of it, but I've had my stint as PT manager as well. All my time has been in the tech industry. Uh, I think the things that drive me is using technology to solve real customer problems that brings me joy. I'm a builder at heart. I love to build things, and I think that probably will continue to do it for many years to go. Given that this session is about mentorship and sponsorship, I just wanted to add like my quick thoughts on what it is, more how I feel about it. I think we spend one third of our lives at work, and I do think it's very critical for us all to be safe and have fun at work. Though those are the things that will help us be more impactful and actually get the outcomes that we want. So, and mentorship provides that opportunity where it provides a safety net for us to be vulnerable and to talk about our insecurities and talk about our failures and learnings, etc. So I'm very excited. I've had great mentors, and I've learned so much being a mentor and a mentee. So I'm looking forward to learning from all the other senior leaders in this panel today.
Can you guys hear me now? Am I
on?
on?
Hear you, Juanita.
Yes, we can.
Welcome.
You can hear me. I have to use, I'm not showing up because I have to use my phone.
Okay.
So that's why my face is not showing.
But you can still
Very good.
stay in front of the laptop, can't you?
It's
Okay.
right here, but it's resume. Okay, let's see.
We see.
No?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
We see part of your frozen laptop.
It is connected now. Okay.
There you are. Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
And
Let's
see
do
you.
it this way. Okay, good.
Good
Sorry
job.
about that.
Great. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself next. Good afternoon, everybody. Glad to join you guys at this conference. Let me introduce myself. I go by Chitkala or CK. You will meet me as an leadership influencer and an advocate for AI and ML. I'm also a technology executive who is passionate about transforming technology inside an organization, mainly to build products and promote business. I also am a speaker recently from last 2 years, and I like to promote women in tech. So I have spoken in a couple of sessions in those spaces, and also align balance with all the industry professionals because we need to mingle with all. As far as the short summary of me, in last 5 years, I have been working as a head of operations, business operations for CustomerOptionsAI, which is also a founder child for me. I've been building their business forefront and footprint. So cheers to all, and let us contribute to make this session useful for all of us. Hopefully we'll have Juanita heading back us in session very soon. Talk to you guys all. Sravanthi or Deepa, you guys want to go next and introduce yourself?
Go ahead, Deepa.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deepa Rao. I have been in IT for the past 21 years. I work as senior software engineer for quality custom distribution at Golden State Foods, California. I also volunteer at many local nonprofit organizations. Mentorship transformed me to who I am today. If I can transform or bring in a change in other women's lives, I would feel happy and satisfied. That's the passion for me for my mentorship. Thank you.
Excellent. Good afternoon and good morning, friends. My name is Sravanthi Vallampati, and I am part of an amazing data architecture and technology enablement organization within Progressive Insurance. And that's my workplace. I've been there a little over 18 years now, 28 plus years in the IT industry. What's interesting about my career trajectory is that I was trained to be a teacher in the English language. And when I came to this country, the United States, I did not have an ounce of courage to even entertain the idea that someone would hire a non-native speaker of English to teach the language. So I jumped on the IT or the computer bandwagon, and here I am 28 years later. But what really drives me is that my belief that the right kind of resources, the right kind of mentors, sponsors included, are the foundation to our ability to reach our individual and collective potential. That's really what drives me, and having those who believe in us and help bring out the gifts while working on our opportunities can be truly magical. So that's what brought me here today to this stage.
Hey, Chitkala, you're on mute.
Do you want to continue? Do we want to continue?
Yeah, I think Juanita is not there. Maybe one of us, I can try to run what she was doing and maybe try to make it better.
I have some of her questions in front of me, if that's okay, and we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
In the interest of time, I'm not sure. Do you all agree?
Sure. Yep, sounds good.
And to all of you who are joining us, please make sure that you are putting your questions and or any challenges, insights, ahas in the chat, so we can all look at those and answer and address as we go and share our own experiences and insights. This is going to be interactive. Hopefully, you're all enjoying yourselves. So let's start with you, Priya. Perhaps you can tell us in one sentence, what is the biggest truth that you have learned about mentorship or sponsorship that shaped your career?
I think mentors kind of help accelerate our career growth and they are our voices in places where we cannot be heard. To be honest, I've had mentors from the beginning of my career, but I heard the term sponsorship just a few years ago. I did not know what sponsorship was, like say 10 years ago. And so I think when sponsorship as a concept was introduced in a place that I was working at, I was pretty much very, very intrigued about it, trying to understand what it means. It essentially means that sponsors have even more, they get more deeper than a mentor, where they are committed to helping you grow in spaces that you can, and they are your voices, and they kind of make sure that you're heard and seen in across the company, and especially in their visibility area. So that was very insightful for me. So that as I was learning from my own mentor and sponsor, I started advocating more for my mentees, even though unintentionally we do it sometimes. I think defining that, understanding what a sponsorship also meant, how can I be a good mentor and a sponsor for my mentees, that helped me understand what how to help my mentees. And I also learned that I think it helps me grow, because when I'm advocating for my mentees, that's how I learn myself, and that has helped me grow in my career as well. So to me, finding a good mentor or a sponsor is equally important as we are trying to focus on being a good mentor or a mentee, irrespective of what stages of your career.
Absolutely. How about you, Chitkala?
So I always believe that mentorship and sponsorship is initiated by and prompted by a purpose. Basically, if you don't have a purpose, you cannot mentor, you cannot actually sponsor anybody. And that purpose was generated when I was in a childhood, very, very small age. I was goal-centric to certain things, and developed a listening ear for my fellow parents, fellow colleagues, leaders, and advisors. But when I was a child, I actually were watching a series called Small World, where the family actually wanted a little child, a girl child, and they actually invented this robot, which is actually twice faster at doing things, and also try to have a knowledge like an almanac. So that kind of a setting, just to see that girl actually being able to do that in the family, that actually seeded some kind of an unawareness of technology initiative in my brain. But I did not realize, because I did my bachelor's in finance, but somehow I came back from finance into technology, and it seeded it so well. So I think some things which we are not unaware of can also be a very great mentorship seeding for one person. And the sponsorship is something which actually generates confidence, basically. So one of my times is in school, I actually had this boot camp at a 10th grade or something, and they actually taught me how to view computers. That is my first introduction to computers and basic language. So that also seeded. I forgot about it for next some years. They was trying to study for my commerce, economics, and finance, and was trying to be a finance person. And then somehow that seeded that confidence in me. And when I actually engaged myself into technology, it just felt like it was a match. Somehow it just sinked in. So the sponsorship and mentoring actually can happen not just by attending a session or trying to read articles or something, but the experiences in your life.
Agreed.
That was the greatest, I think, a stop of confidence, which is still happening in my life right now.
Agreed. And Terry here, Terry, thank you for your comment. Terry here says, getting sponsorships is more difficult. They represent and speak on your behalf when you're not in the room. That is so true. And for that to happen, a good bit of mentorship has to precede that, and a good amount of somebody's belief in the brand, in your brand, has to happen, right? What you bring to the table, what is your differentiator, how are we carrying that brand forward, whether it is in our area of technology,
No.
community, or anywhere else.
Hello.
We hear you, Juanita.
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries. We are getting into the question of, what is the biggest truth that you have learned in your journeys? And Priya and Chitkala have shared, so Deepa and I can go ahead and share. Deepa, I think, dropped again.
Yeah, is that the first question?
Yeah, that's the question that we are on right now. That's the question.
Okay.
So I can go ahead and say, for me, especially, the one truth, to keep it brief, the one truth is that there is this very delicate balance between mentoring someone and not really wanting to create an image of your own in that person. So when I was a mentee, I had some initial mentors who wanted me to be like them, or when I was introduced to mentoring. So that was not something that but when I learned more about mentoring and started appreciating the value of it, I definitely came to this truth that mentoring is not about creating an image of you in that person, but giving every person that you meet, every mentee that you meet, the opportunity to create themselves. So it is that combination of self-discovery, the journey, and the achievement at the end of it. So to me, that's the biggest truth, is that delicate balance that mentoring provides, or mentoring has to have, a foundation of the mentor not wanting to create an image of themselves, but definitely wanting the mentee to discover themselves and bring out the gifts while channeling their inner energy into something bigger.
Thank you very much. So we'll continue with the main question to Chitkala. Can you share a time when a mentor or sponsor believed in you before you believed in yourself? What impact did it have?
You're on mute.
This habit of unmuting myself. Thank you, Priya. Okay, so this is a tricky question because when I say that you have a mentor or a sponsor believes in you, it is actually sometimes you are mostly unaware, because at a mentee state, you're trying to learn and grasp things from somebody, even if it happens in every level. It's not like you are in a very junior level and you have a mentor, or in a higher level and you don't. Every level actually has its own stages of unawareness to where they want to get to, because the goal centric is always a little bit more higher. It's good to have a higher so we can gauge that. And when you mature yourself to that state, that is when you understand that, okay, this person actually helped me string this in my career, and this person actually sponsored me without my awareness. So all through my career, when I realized that everybody who I actually worked with, my family members, my friends, helped me in certain way to stand and realized the push of support and extended hand which they provided to me mostly all through my career. So I would not deny that I did not self-promote myself, did not try to make mindset for myself. I had lots of sessions with myself. And that actually gives some kind of a resilience and self-effort ability to everybody. And everybody, I recommend this with you, that you have to do that self-effort mindset and work with yourself and understand yourself. Once you understand yourself, it builds confidence, and then you can string all the beads which you have gained from all the sponsors and mentors. So that is what I learned from, and everything is an experience, and bad or good. I had my moments of happiness, I had my moments of annoyance, I had my moments of sadness and isolation, but all of them actually helped me to be who I am today. I would not complain, but I still want to grow my career, and looking forward to that.
That's great. That's great. And for me, mentorship for me wasn't always formal, and it shouldn't be. Sometimes it's someone you saw a potential in, or you see yourself in. Sometimes I watch mentors from afar, people I admire. So definitely, mentorship is not a formal, and we all need. I call them board of directors in whatever we do. So thank you for that response. So now we'll move on to question 2 to Deepa. What advice will you give someone who is afraid to ask for mentorship or sponsorship?
Yeah, for this, I would like to share my personal experience. So 15 years ago, when I joined a company, my manager asked me to connect with a mentor who was with the same company for the past 10 years. So when she approached me and she asked me for a lunch meeting, I said, okay, and I met with her. And we exchanged a few details about my background, my family, and her family. And the next time she sent an invite, I declined. So I was not into mentorship. 15 years ago, I didn't know what is a mentor, what is mentorship, who is a mentee. I was just wondering, like, why my manager wants to meet this person who was working for the same company. And then, my manager asked me, did you meet with her? I said, yes, I met with her. So did you schedule another meeting? I said, no, not yet. Then probably you would have told her to reconnect with me. So she sent another request, a meeting request, and I again declined. This kept on going for 2-3 consecutive months, and she stopped sending me. So after a few years, I joined a nonprofit organization as executive committee member. So during that time, I had few mentors who taught me everything: the communication, the responsibilities, the commitments, and how to proceed in a nonprofit organization. Like, what are the relationships you have to maintain? Everything from all the leadership perspective levels, I learned everything from them. At that point, I realized what mistake I did when somebody offered me that she would be my mentor, who had 10 years of experience in the same field, and I rejected that. So my advice is, be proactive, go for it, don't be afraid. But if you are afraid, you're going to lose something and you're going to regret it. So my advice is, if anybody comes to mentor you, you go ahead. And I would say rather proactively go for mentorship. That's my advice.
Yeah. And well said. Like you were afraid to get into that conversation, and as immigrants, as women, we tend to stay back, but we need to move forward. We need to have that confidence, and have our board of directors, mentors that will help us with personal issues, mentors that will help us with work, and even work you can segment it, right? And for me, I'm so much deeply connected with this topic because when I became the head of IT for Winnipeg Police, I never had a mentor that looked like me. I never had a mentor that was Black, woman, and immigrant. It was far in between. I have to basically have mentors that admire from afar. And that's why I became very strong into mentorship and the importance of it, and especially sponsorship. They are the people who will talk about you when you are not in the room and they are the one who will lift you up. And I'm where I am because of my sponsors as well. Thank you. We'll move to the third question. Priandri, if I don't pronounce your name, please pardon me. Priya, what lessons have you learned from mentoring someone different from you in culture, background, or perspective?
Sure. Actually, my learning is very similar to the one Sravanthi was talking about, like in her introduction. The most powerful lesson that I learned is as we mentor people, it is important to make sure that we're not trying to embody ourselves into them, but we try to do what is best for them, and we kind of mold it according to their, uh, you know, how according to their culture or according to their personality and not us. Like to give you an example, like early in my career, I was not very career oriented. I kind of I didn't have a 5 year plan or anything. I didn't know what I wanted to be, etc. But I was pretty good at what I was doing. I think I was very focused on doing the best thing I can, and I continued doing impactful work, and that led to organic growth. I kind of very naively thought that's how careers are meant to be, which may or may not be a right thing to do it, but it's a very individual decision. I think very early in my career I didn't know that. So when some of my mentees came with very clear ambitions, they had timelines that said, hey, in the next year I want to go to the next level, or next 5 years I see myself in this role. They had very clear aspirations. They were very self-driven, and they knew what they wanted in their life, which was very different from me. Initially, I was seeing myself giving advices that would have suited me, something that I would have done. I'm a person who shies away from visibility or for any networking opportunity, but that might not be true for them. So I kind of quickly realized, as some of my mentors, tried, helping me overcome some of my personality quirks. I kind of realized that what worked for me may not work for the mentee, and it's very important for me to realize what works best for them, I think. And then I started working with some of my mentees to help map out their career moves, map out choices of companies or choices of roles, and very strategically helping them with visibility and sponsorship opportunities, which is something that I might personally not do for myself, but I was open to do it for others. I think that has helped me shape the mentor I am, and it's important for us to. It kind of also shows how empathetic we can be, being flexible and being empathetic towards our mentees and helping them with what they want is something that I've learned over the years.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And sometimes we confuse coaching to mentorship, right? Mentorship is a long-term relationship, whereby coaching is more of a short-term. You have a specific goal that person is supposed to help you with, right? So you are right, getting out of that, your comfort and being open and building that relationship. For me, it's all about building relationships, right? And you build relationships before you need it. Thank you very much. We don't have much time, so I'll go to Sarvina. How you know who you are? So I'm not pronouncing the name.
Sravanthi.
Yeah. What's the name?
Sravanthi.
Sravanthi. Okay. Yep. How do you mentor or sponsor people today? What do you look for when deciding to advocate for someone? And there's a question in the chat relating to that. I will add to it. Go ahead.
Sure. And I'd like to start with one of the things I think I alluded to, one of the pivotal lessons that I have learned throughout my journey, learning journey, I would say, is to be an ally to someone. What that means is that we encompass in some measure the tenets of both sponsorship and mentorship. So how can I be an ally to someone who either is seeking mentorship or sponsorship? And it is that true allyship is about helping others the way that they would like to be helped. And it goes back to my initial reflection that Priya alluded to, right? I want to be an ally for someone the way that they would want to be sponsored and mentored. But the question then comes, how do we balance between just nudging them towards what they want versus creating in them the capacity to go beyond the confines of their own limitations, their own thing, right? That's the delicate balance that I think of is something that all of us mentors, we learn over time. And Priya was very honest in how she said, no, I didn't know it either. So we all had to learn by being mentees, good mentees ourselves. So for them to be able to dream, to dare, to even imagine something beyond their capacity. So the way that I mentor and sponsor someone is by being a steadfast ally to them. First of all, learning what it is that they want and nurturing in them that gift, that desire that they have, while creating or co-creating what's possible. How do we gently nudge them? So that's really what I look for in a mentee is number one, their desire to be and to do, their dedication to commit and to be consistent with whatever it is that they desire to do. And last but not least, I would say determination, because mentoring is a two-way process. Achieving what you set out to achieve is going to be wrought with challenge, and you have to work in the gray. You have to do some honest self-reflection. You have to be open to feedback. There'll be stumbling blocks along the way, but there's also a great deal of satisfaction. So I would say the desire to be and to do, the dedication to commit and to be consistent, and lastly, the determination to persevere and to achieve together. So creating that possibility.
Well said. Well said. Yeah. Do you want to add something to it?
Yeah, I think I just want to key to what Sravanthi was saying. I think there are always a lot of challenges in an organization. It's not just that you're an immigrant or you are actually a woman or you are actually knowledgeable or not. There are a lot of other challenges, like you have to actually keep up with the team. You have to keep up with the team's projects. You have to keep up with the relationships. You have to keep up with how the organization is moving. So those challenges and levels of leadership, to mantle through those levels, you need to work with each one of them. You have to find a sweet spot. Sometimes you get into hurts and sometimes you get into benefits. But that is the game which if you can actually traverse that part a little bit more closely to who can actually traverse you to the next level, who can actually help you out with the present situation. That is the challenge which you have to observe as soon as you walk into the organization. Once you walk into the organization, the first thing is not to contribute. The first thing you have to do is observe your colleagues, observe your leadership, observe how the organization business is, and then try to absorb and say, okay, here I can contribute, here is where I can learn, here is where I can actually mantle them into my work sphere.
Yeah, that's
I can
great.
survive in the organization.
Yeah.
And in my
that's very good. That's in the interest of time, so I'm not cutting you short.
Yes, Juanita.
That's really great. And mentors shouldn't just come from your organization. Like I said, your mentors can be far and near. But again, the question was, you answered it very well. It's making the time and coming up to an agreement. Like as a mentor, as a mentee, what is in for me? Like anybody I interact with, you have to have something where you volunteer for. You are not just going to show up. You want to gain some skill. Like Deepa talked about her volunteer experience, right? You want something out of there. Is there somebody to help you? For me, it's through my volunteer experience that I got a lot of sponsors, right? Because they see what I bring to the table beyond my color, beyond my gender, right? So these are all things we need to look at, especially in today's fast-paced world where we have to do, everybody's so busy. So for me, when I'm looking at my mentees, I will say, okay, I only have half an hour. Sometimes I only have half an hour virtual meeting with people just to guide them. That's all I do. And then I say later on, when you get to this stage, let's check in again, right? Because everybody is so busy. But if you want a mentor to clean on, it's going to be very tough. So Indrin asked a question about what strategies can mentors and sponsors employ to ensure their guidance is inclusive and addressing the unique challenges faced by women from diverse backgrounds in the tech industry. Very good question. For me personally, I don't. If I have to say, they have to write a book about it. But one of the key things is about being visible. And as women, we are almost behind the scene, right? For me, I'm retired now, and my new identity is all Juanita 2.0. It's about passion, purpose, and impact. So everything I do, there have to be a passion first, a purpose, and then an impact. If not, I'm not going to do it, right? So in terms of strategies for mentors and sponsors to be what to guide you. Number one is listen. Why is this person reaching out to me? People have reached out to me through, my speaking engagement or whatever. Why is this person reaching out to me? How much time can I have to help this person? Sometimes you can't. I have to turn some people off and say, you know what? We are not in the same field. We cannot connect. How, and if I do connect with you, how can I make this person visible, as a sponsor? By connecting them to your network, inviting them, recommending them. There are a lot of things you can do, right? And even if you're going for a meeting or some other social event, invite them if they are within your same space, right? So I don't know if any of the panelists may like to add to it as well. The question was, what strategies can mentors and sponsors employ to ensure their guidance is inclusive and addresses the unique challenge faced by women from diverse backgrounds? And then we'll go to our final questions.
I think the first thing which I actually learned is that not man, woman, or immigration or anything else. The thing which is that there's a traversing level, and the thought process is where we actually backfall, because we think that as a woman you need to only traverse through certain things, or as a man you have to traverse through certain things. But the strategy is to observe with what the given situation is, and that is what I actually try to observe first before you can actually mantle that. And the questions which you ask, that is, you need to resolve those in a self-effort, self-mindset sessions with yourself, because nobody can tell you you're lower. Nobody can tell you that you are higher. So if you give somebody a chance, you will always try to get the reverse of it, depending upon their perspective and mindset. So never ask that where I fit in. Try to do that homework with yourself once you walk into the organization, and then actually try to mantle the challenges and say, okay, in the given situation of professionalism, where can I stand firm, and where can I be a little bit loose and be adjustable? And the same thing happens with relationship. I would like to get a chance.
May I ask any panelists to add 30 seconds?
Yes.
And we'll go to the last question. Please, any other person wants to add to that question?
I'd do a very quick round out here. Unconscious bias is within everyone, right? One of my favorite authors says, if you have a brain, you have unconscious bias. So it's not about man, woman, or anything else. We all have these. So to continuously check on our unconscious biases, have an open mind to understand and meet where your mentees want you to meet them, regardless of your area of expertise, I think is something that we can all use as the foundation. And a couple of folks have asked about what's the best approach. The best approach, I think, is where there are two open-minded people, or there are two open-minded entities that are here to learn from one another. Make sure that they are being inclusive in every which way and being open to learning. There's a lot of unexpected happenings that will come into play as we mentor and be mentees. So I think being open to change, be embracing it, and moving forward with that good intention, and not to make assumptions or to put labels on anything, is something that I think will help both the mentor and the mentee in this bi-directional co-creation process.
Good. So now let's wrap up with our closing reflection. One word or phrase from each of you, panelists, that reflect the legacy you hope to leave behind through your mentorship and sponsorship. One word or phrase, short phrase.
Priya, you want to go first?
Yep. I think one thing, primary thing is don't be scared or eliminate fear from, I think, or the mentors that sometimes that we look up to, they've gone through the same path, they've gone through the same hardships, they've gone through the same imposter syndrome that we all have. So be vulnerable with your mentors, seek out, and don't be scared to seek out for help. I think our office is meant to be a very collaborative place. So not just at work, but even at other settings.
Okay, one word or phrase, please. We don't have to explain, just one word or phrase. Sorry, I have to put you guys on one word or phrase to what you want to leave with the audience about mentorship or sponsorship.
So I would say that try to work with your leadership and try to stand when you need to. And it is not like your boss is only teaching you things or your colleague is only teaching you things. You can
Again, we don't have to.
You can be a mentorship to everybody who you work with.
We have 1 minute. I have to give the rest.
Deepa and yeah.
Yeah. For me, one of the phrases is mentorship helps you find your voice. Sponsorship puts your name in rooms you haven't entered yet. Deepa, anything else you want to add as a reflection before the cut us off? We can't hear you.
No.
Okay. Can you? Who else haven't gone yet with the last reflection? Okay, go ahead.
I can close out. The legacy that I would leave is that my mentees felt encouraged, empowered, and inspired, not just by what I shared, but how I modeled it.
Thank you.
I want to be remembered as a kind, compassionate person.
Thank you all. Sorry for all the technical glitches. I couldn't introduce myself. You can follow me on LinkedIn. Thank you to the panelists for sharing their journey with mentorship and sponsorship. This session reminds us of the truth that we carry deeply with ourselves. Today's conversation, as we all see it, and from the questions that we couldn't even address, is more than a discussion. It's a roadmap. It's a reminder that we each have a role to play in our journey and to leave a legacy. So thank you to these incredible panelists and for your honesty, passion, and leadership in steering your journey. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.